Hello, Taurus. So this is the Azure Sage Tarot, and today's reading is about you. I'm just going to shuffle the cards and see what's going to come out. I'm leaving it open, so it could be about pretty much anything. I leave it up to spirits and the universe. So yeah, it's about it. I hope you're doing well. We're gonna jump right into it. I'm going to start by using the Claw card deck. So, for Tauruses, Spirit for Taurus. What do you have to say? Here you would come out. So we have the wood coming up first. Interesting. I heard care. So care. I don't know if it's really about self-care. We hear that often, right? But care, caring, mother. We'll see. Wow. We have the windy coming up next. Oop. The dash. Yeah, so just well, one more card, please. Spirit or universe. The rain. The rain. Wow. Okay. And what do we have at the bottom of the deck? Wow. The fiery. So I keep saying wow, wow. That's how your energy feels, Taurus. It feels wow, wowie. Quite interesting. We started the reading with the wood and the windy, which are both cards that can talk about that refers or that have ties to the heart chakra. Then we have also the rain, which speaks about, well, being in contact and in touch with your emotional body. But your general energy is the fiery. So a lot of passion, I heard a lot of oomph, going on, a lot of desires and objective goals. But I feel passion in a desire, like more in the desire sense here. You've got actually two cards that, whoa, right, okay. So to explain to you why it is kind of exciting for me to see those cards in those places is because you have two of the four elemental cards that we have in the Claw card deck. There is fiery, the windy, the watery, and the earthy. And those are kind of, for me, kind of like major arcanas. I don't know, but kind of, like the sun and the tower in the tarot. Those cards are kind of important in the hierarchy that exists within this deck, or at least how I perceive the hierarchy that exists in this deck, in the Claw card deck. The wind is just below the dark, and the fiery is below the light. Those two being at the top. Of course, there's the nothing above, but the nothing is kind of a card apart. But yeah, you've got the light, the shadow at the top of the hierarchy, and then they divide. The light divides into fire and earth. The dark divides into wind and water. So you've got kind of the four houses, because after that, other cards are attributed below one of those four elemental cards. So for example, the rain is below the the watery, the dash is below the fiery, and the wood is below the earthy, you know? So we've got, yeah. So again, what is powerful about that is at the center of your reading we have an elemental card, and as your overall energy we also have an elemental card. So what does this mean for you? It means that I heard powerful changes, but I think it's not in a tower way, you know. I think you are in an energy, Taurus, where you have the power to. I heard power to control my fate, to break the chains of fate. So I don't know if it resonates for I don't know if it's going to resonate for every one of you, but I heard that the power to break the chains of fate. So I think you have the power to accomplish what you set your mind to. I think you have the power to create the environment you wish to have, especially with the wood here that talks about growing your connections, growing your wealth, growing your network, in like just growing your surroundings actually, and creating all those different branches to your life, but being still centered. It talks about having already a good foundation, um, and being able to branch out from that foundation, from that core. um, and we have the dash too, which is kind of being at the end, like the last 50 meters to run, you know, the last few steps to to your goal. So you're nearing something is nearing you, like you're near something approaches you, or you are approaching your goals, and it's going to be quick. With the dash it's rushing forward, you know. And then there's that little rain. So maybe you've been really trying to follow your heart, Taurus. But we'll see what we can get from the tarot right now. So I'll clarify by using the Final Fantasy VII Tarot card collection by Prince and Sun. And we'll start by clarifying your overall energy, which is the fiery. So Spirit, Universe, please. Yeah, literally, you're in your power, you're in control of your situationship, and you're in nature, Taurus. We have the Emperor that came out first, and the King of Cups. So definitely, like I said, I think you've been trying to listen to your feelings in this period, and you have acquired that emotional maturity and this emotional depth, but you have a grip on it. You know what I mean? You've got a grip on your circumstances. You have what it takes to go and pursue your goals right now. Maybe you don't feel like it, but actually, I think you feel like it. And if you don't, you should, because you really have that powerful energy. Even though the magician didn't came out, I feel like, well, it didn't came out probably because it's not about manifesting into, well, it's maybe not about manifesting actually, but really rather about taking the actions to transform your surroundings. I keep hearing transform your circumstances or surroundings. So yeah, really, really powerful, powerful energy to be in, Taurus. I would advise you to take advantage of that energy if you're not already doing so, especially because you have the fire and the King of Cups. King of Cups, cups being water, emotions. um, so you've got some balance in your energy right now, but still more of a masculine one. It's not um, a gender specific reading, but still you have that masculine aspect of going forward and chasing your goals. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward up until now. So let's see what we've got about the woods. I'm curious to see another king, Taurus, another king. Oh, this one. Yes. Is there another card, Spirit? No, I feel like maybe there's another one, but I'm not sure. Another king. We have Emperor, the King of Cups, the King of Swords. Bad shuffle. Gosh. Okay. Let's just try this once more. So, you've been investing in the past. You also have the Seven of Coins that came out, but you've been investing in something. You've been investing in your circumstances, I hear, and it's paying off, I think. I think things are starting to grow. Ooh. Yes, so we've got the King of Swords. We've got the Seven of Coins. And the Ace of Cups in reverse. So, yes. You've been really careful with like where you invest your energy and where you invest your interests, Taurus, and there's nothing wrong with that. But actually, I think it helped grow your environment. It helped you develop yourself, gain some awareness, and be able to. I think you have a really, really clear vision right now of what you want, Taurus. Especially with the King of Swords. I mean, the King of Swords knows. The King of Swords has been careful and has like been looking for information. The King of Swords, I like to see where the Queen of Swords is more intuitive about the way she gets the information, like more about feeling, feeling her way through knowledge and thoughts. The King of Swords is like, okay, well, I'm going to ask many people and see what information concords or like is aligns together. And I think you've been doing that. You've been carefully and wisely investing your resources and even maybe withdrawing with the Ace of Cups in reverse, maybe even withdrawing from some place in your life or some spheres of your life. I heard maybe we were talking about breaking chains of fate, of course, but maybe you thought you were fated to someone, but or it felt like it was fated, but still you broke or you're trying to break a link that subsists between you and a person. But I'm not sure. I think it's for a few of you, though. I'm not picking up a lot of this energy. It's subtle, but I think it is. There's something about withdrawing yourself from somewhere. But let's move forward. It could be interesting to see with the windy because the windy talks about communication. It's a gentle form of communication. And it's a communication that is true and that comes from the earth, from the hearth. Gosh. Heart. Yes. I'm mixing hearth and earth, making weird words. But yeah, so the windy talks about a gentle and compassionate communication that often compassionate. It doesn't have to feel like this, but it comes from the heart. Even though it's like an air card, you know. Yeah, 6 of Wands in the reverse. Maybe something hasn't been said or hasn't been made public yet. Or something feels like a failure, maybe. And maybe that's why you withdraw from something. You took your power back, and to take your power back, you take it from the people you once gave. But I feel like it's more a specific person here. Just want to see if there isn't another card. But yeah, so we've got the 6 of Wands in reverse. So yeah, there is something that has been, that felt like it wasn't working, it wasn't successful. Temperance, yes, Temperance in reverse. It talks about frustration, impatience. And with the fiery, I would understand if you felt impatient, especially having that much energy with you. And yeah, the bottom of the deck, there was the 6 of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Hermit, the Page of Cups. Wow, it's a story. The Wheel of Fortune. Yes, I've got a beautiful story under the back of the deck. With the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the 6 of Cups. No, 6 of Cups, Knight of Cups, the Hermit, the Page of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, 2 of Coins, the Moon. Wow, 4 of Wands. Whew, some heavy energy there, but definitely a connection that felt, it's a connection that felt, or that feels, maybe it didn't feel like this for you, but it feels kind of, it had to happen, but it didn't work, with the 6 of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Cups. And I think Taurus, sorry, I'm losing my words. I'm feeling quite confused, so maybe you feel confusion, but maybe it's just me being tired though, because there doesn't seem to be a lot of confusion. I think you're really just withdrawn from a connection, and you took back your power from that connection. Even though it was frustrating because it didn't work out the way you wanted it to work, I think you are the one that take your power back and started being more assertive and started going towards your own objectives and goals. Especially with the dash. The dash is rushing towards the future, you know, rushing towards what it wants at a really, really fast speed. So I wonder, what about the dash, Spirit? What about the dash? What can you tell me about the dash? What is Taurus going after? What is Taurus going after? Wow. Ah! This is too much. Are you? Okay. Yes. Yes. I think I see the picture now. So the first card that came out was the Nine of Swords in the reverse. So at first it seems good because you're running for tranquility, but we have the Six of Swords in reverse. The High Priestess in reverse, and the Ace of Queens. And the way I wanted to place them is each one above the other, you know? So like this, it gives this. So we have the Nine of Swords that is below everything, the Six of Swords, the High Priestess, and then the Ace of Coins. So I think if I was to ask you, Taurus, what are you going for? You would, or what are your goals? You would be, oh, I've got that goal. I want, like, I want to take this opportunity and make it live long term and um, have a solid beginning in something in some way, shape, or form into some sphere of my life. It could be job, probably job related, or like a project or passion that you want to pursue. But the truth is, there is the High Priestess in the reverse, so you're not really using your inner self in that. You're really in your masculine energy right now of going forward and taking action and trying to go towards what you want. But with the High Priestess in reverse, you lack that feminine trait. You lack that, again, not a gender specific reading, but you lack that feminine energy of being able to feel more or to have your emotions, um, not your emotions, but your intuition. Because we have the King of Cups beneath the, not beneath, but beside the Emperor. So having the King of Cups and the Emperor talks about control. And what I said earlier is that it's like you had a grip on your situation. You had a grip, and I think that's a little bit what you're doing. You're being more of a diplomat, more political, like the King of Cups. It means you have a lot of feelings. You have a lot of emotions deep inside of you, but you're more into this Emperor energy, and King of Swords energy, careful planning and um, more trying to be in control of things. So even though you can acknowledge your emotions, you're trying to be to do the right thing, you know. And the right thing for you was to take back your power, and that was probably a good thing to do because we never want to give away our power. Even if it's for someone, we don't do that. You should be able to still have your power and not giving it away, and still being able to have a loving relationship or any kind of relationship with someone or with work or anything. So that's why you're like, yeah, things are in the past. I'm going forward for a new opportunity that I can grow long term, that is going to be solid and successful. But with the High Priestess, there's a lack of intuition, there's a lack of looking inward, I feel. And we have then it becomes interesting because we have a lack of looking inward, still clarifying that rushing energy, So we have a lack of looking inward, and then we have the Six of Swords in reverse. The Six of Swords of upright speaks about moving on to calmer waters, far from conflict, but it's in the reverse. So there is, it's hard to move on. You know what I mean? So it's hard to go forward, to move forward. Um, and then we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. So I think you're, and don't shoot the messenger, please, Taurus, but I think you're more, and maybe you even realize that, maybe you know that, but you don't want to look at it. But I think for some of you, maybe a great deal of you, Taurus, um, you are fleeing your situation, making yourself believe that you are just trying to move forward and go after what you desire. You are actually fleeing your emotions. You're actually fleeing what you cannot control because you want something to be stable. You want something to, like, that you can rely on. But your feelings, maybe there's a part of you that wants something that doesn't feel stable. But we're going to see that with the rain, actually, because as I said earlier, in the surface, you're really, really powerful, and I applaud you for that. Really, that's a good thing, but that's only the first step. To have taken back your power, it's okay, but you shouldn't feel like you need to control your feelings, or you shouldn't feel like, you know, you should be running so fast towards those opportunities. That's what makes me think you're running away, running away from a part of yourself that you don't want to acknowledge. That's what I heard. Because if I acknowledge it, it's going to be real. If I acknowledge it, it's going to be real. And then, of course, you'll have to deal with it. So that's why you focus on other things you can control, things you can take action towards. And maybe you know that you're kind of ignoring a part of yourself, but you're like, well, you're being diplomatic with the King of Cups, well, I can't control it. I can't control this situation. So even though I feel like this, I need to focus on where I can really take action. But the problem is that maybe you're trying to control things to feel secure in some type of way, but you're not, like, you're being too political, too diplomatic, trying to um I think you have a great depth of emotions, but you don't think it's going to help you. You don't think those feelings are going to help you. That's what I feel like. So you're like, well, I can't do anything with that grief or with that sadness, so I'm just going to focus on something else, Yeah. Seven of Cups in the reverse. Seven of Cups upright means having options, several options, to the point it can cause confusion. But in the reverse, it's like you don't have a choice. You don't feel like you have a choice. Those are cups, so those are feelings. You don't feel like you have opportunities or choice in this situation. You feel like the only thing you can do is moving forward. But as I told you, ignoring your feelings isn't the right thing to do. When the rain is here, when I read the rain, it's usually a warning from spirits or the universe to really not only take into account your feelings, because you're doing that with the King of Cups, but allowing them to be real and to feel them, and telling yourself it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. Then we've got the Page of Cups coming. It was at the bottom of the deck, but now it's in the reverse, coming out in the reverse. I think you feel like you don't have a choice because you need to be the bigger person, you know? You need to be the bigger person, you need to be mature, so you need to unapologetic, I'm not able to speak. You apologize, so unapologetically, to be unapologetical about something, or unapologetic. I'm not able to say that word. Yes, you heard me right. I'm not able to speak, but you understood the point. So you need to be like, you feel like you don't you feel like allowing yourself to be sad for a moment would be the same as playing the victim and not doing the right thing, not going forward. It won't serve anything, it won't bring you anything. So you're like, it it won't be the mature option to do, it won't be the good thing to do. But even so, even like, we don't want to stay in the victim energy, but you need to acknowledge your feelings, because that's what that's what you need to do for your inner child, Taurus. You need to take care of them. What happens when your emotional needs aren't met, and when you feel like you don't have the right to feel things when you're a child? Well, oftentimes, there are problems that developed later on because of it, because your inner child wouldn't feel safe to feel that way. So you should allow yourself to feel sad if you're sad, and allow time um to make it to work its magic. That's what I heard. Yeah, at the bottom of the deck we have Six of Coins, which talks about equal give and take, generosity. But I think you need to be generous with yourself, and less hard on yourself, and also to give yourself time, actually, and to have a balanced approach to that situation, because we have the Star in the reverse, um, and then the World upright. So the Star in the reverse and the World upright at the bottom of the deck. I feel like um, you need some time to appreciate how you feel. That's what I'm going to say. I think you need to have some time to appreciate how you feel, Taurus, and that is going to actually, without being able to necessarily heal your relationship with the person or the connection, without necessarily being able to heal the connection, it will be healing for you, a healing process for you. Because fleeing isn't an option right now. If you just flee, if you're just running away from your feelings, it will catch up. And oftentimes, when those feelings catch up in the future, it's worse. So I think that's the advice, like, you're being given right now. There's a situation, you successfully withdrew your energy from it and took back your power, but you're still running from it instead of having healed. Instead of, like, healing from the situation, you're like, okay, I took back my power and I'm using that power to flee instead of healing, if that makes sense. So I'm going to use the Alchemy Flower Oracle and see what last messages or piece of advice we can get for you, Taurus. So for Taurus, advice, please. Advice. So it's, yeah, Alchemy Flower Oracle, but it's by Ingrid, but I'm not able like I'm not able to say most of the words I'm trying to say in this reading. So imagine trying to say the last name of Miss Ingrid. I don't mean to be disrespectful by calling her by her first name, but well, I should say they because I don't know how they identify. So we have be present magic. Yeah, that be present magic is basically just saying be present, be present to your surroundings, but here it's clearly be present for yourself. There are some types of things that you can only do for yourself. There is some kind of compassion that can only come from you and you alone. And I think that it's the kind of compassion you need to develop, Taurus, in this period of time. It's going to help you a lot moving forward. Don't worry, I'm going to show you the card, but I've already explained it, so I should as well show you. This is the card, Be Present to Magic. Other advices for Taurus? Oh, that's too much. Too much. Other advice or advices for Taurus. So we've got dreams and visions, and also, wow, both dream cards coming out together. So pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention, like a great deal of attention to your dreams. Maybe there are some things that you didn't process that your subconscious self will try to indicate you, because dreams oftentimes are messages from our subconscious self. So those two cards, and there are two cards talking about dream and dreams in this deck, in the Flower Oracle, and those two came together. So there is something about dreams, maybe your goals too, so be careful about what you wish for and what you want. But of course, I really think here, especially with Dream Messenger, Messenger, I think you need to pay attention to what you dream about, or even what you daydream about. Maybe there are, but especially your night dreams, maybe there are messages in those dreams of yours that could help you understand how you feel, how your inner child feels, how your subconscious self feels, and try to move forward. Especially if you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, that was such a strange dream. Try to remember it. At least for the next few weeks, I think it could greatly help you. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Serenity and Gratitude. So, yeah, actually, you need to, take your time to process things. You don't have to feel alright at once. The only thing you have to do is to make some efforts to put yourself back up. But you need to have the time to learn from the feelings you have and to heal those feelings. So to achieve serenity, I think you should try and I heard too many things in my head at the same time. You need to welcome your feelings and be grateful for what they taught you actually. That's the message I'm getting from that card. You need to welcome your feelings with, especially, and I put it above the rain and the dash. So, especially with that, I think you need to welcome I heard welcome your fears, welcome your feelings, and allow time to dissolve them and make them easier to process. But you really need to process them, and that's when serenity will come once you can try and be kind of grateful for the. And it's not always easy, not always easy, but it's when you're going to be able to be grateful for what lessons you have and what it brought you. Um, this usually comes easier when it's in hindsight. So after everything happened and after you healed from the situation. But if you always run away, you won't be able to heal from it. And if you're not able to heal from it, well, it will come back to you and in probably a worse way. And also, you won't be able to have that gratitude at the end and having learned those lessons. So, Taurus, I think I'm going to leave your reading here. It has been quite an interesting one. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering so much in your reading. Well, I'm stuttering a lot in like my day-to-day life, but really in your reading it was hard. So I hope something resonated. Don't forget it's a general reading, so take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. And I wish you a really nice day or night whenever you're watching. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.